It is wedding season, but not all couples want to tie the knot. And when it comes to married and unmarried couples, there are some legal and financial differences. Our financial expert, Paul Hood, with Hood CPAs, joins us this afternoon. Paul, thanks for being here. This is an interesting topic.
Yeah.
Probably affects some people
It's
out
fun.
there. Yeah. So what are the major differences between a married couple and an unmarried couple when it comes to your finances?
Well, the primary difference is there's a lot of things in the tax code that a married couple is treated as one. There's also, from a legal standpoint, if I'm married, even if I don't have a will or a trust, the state of Oklahoma has a will for me that says if I die, half my stuff goes to my wife and half goes to my kids. If you're unmarried, then there is no operation like that. So if you got two people that aren't married and one person has a bunch of assets and they die, that surviving person really has no rights. It would all go to that person's kids if they have kids. Now, you can circumvent all that, obviously, with trusts or wills or joint with right of survivorship, ownership, and things like that. So it takes a little more thinking to make sure that people are taken care of. But a lot of the people we deal with that come together, they have separate lives before that, and they don't really want to combine it anyway.
Yeah. Well, let's expand on that, too. If a couple decides not to get married, what do they do as far as power of attorney, with wills? I mean, are there ways to kind of work around it?
So married or unmarried doesn't matter. It's whoever you can name, whoever you want to as a power of attorney. And you got to be careful how it's drafted, because most durable power of attorneys are drafted that says, I can operate as the person who I have that power of attorney, but I can't take things, I can't sell their property and give it to myself, those kind of things. But you can leave, even if you're married, you can leave a child as your power of attorney, or you can name your partner as your power of attorney. Same thing with wills or trusts. You can name trusts. The reason they work so well is you have a successor trustee that steps in at your death and goes to the bank, and here's a death certificate, here it says I'm successor trustee. Get a signature card and they're paying bills right away, and nothing gets frozen, and it's private. So it's really, as long as people, having a partnership, if you will, requires you to do planning. Whereas if you're married, you don't necessarily have to do as much planning.
Well, and let's talk about taxes too with that. You know, when you are married, you mentioned that you are one when it comes to taxes. Yeah. But what are some of the major differences, and what should people be aware of if they decide not to get married?
So one thing I get a question all the time is this concept of common law marriage. And actually I had one of those retail fast tax companies actually give advice to a client that says, if you file jointly, you're married. No, you have to be legally married, whether it's legally or through the statute system. So married filing, if you're married, there's actually a penalty. It's actually a lot of times worse to be married for income taxes. They actually call it the marriage penalty. And if you're married at December 31st, you have to file married joint or married filing separate. If you've got a partner and you both maybe have kids, you can both file head of household potentially if you both have income, and it's significantly better. So there's not one is better than the other, it's just different planning.
Yeah, talk to somebody like you. All right, Paul, thanks so much. We appreciate it.